Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into Hobbs and Shaw. Hold on tight, because this ride is about to make gravity cry. It all begins in London. A secret intelligence squad, led by Hattie, is dropped off by helicopter outside a tech cult's hideout. While her teammates handle the brawls, Hattie sneaks off to a locked box. Because she's got mad hacker fingers, she cracks it open and finds their prize, a deadly virus called Snowflake. Yeah, fun. But right when she's about to leave, the vibe changes. Enter Brixton. Imagine a supervillain mixed with a Wi-Fi router. Half man, half cybernetic upgrade, and all bad news. He works for Edeon, but let's be real, he's basically a boss fight on legs. Hattie's squad points guns at him, but Brixton doesn't even flinch. He scans them with his Terminator eyes, then proceeds to demolish the entire team in about 10 seconds flat. Brixton punches through the door like it's made of aluminum foil, revealing Hattie trying to drive away. He shoots up the windshield. In a desperate move, Hattie injects the Snowflake virus into herself. Now she's basically a walking time bomb. By the time Brixton bursts out, she's already gone. Bad news for him. Meanwhile, across the ocean in Los Angeles, we catch up with Agent Hobbs. He strolls into a karaoke bar like it's his local Starbucks. But instead of singing, he's backstage beating up a room full of gangsters. He saves the boss for last, strapping him into a tattoo chair and demanding info about the Snowflake virus. The boss is clueless, so Hobbs tattoos a dirty word on his forehead. Justice, but make it permanent. Over in London, Agent Shaw has his own introduction. Instead of bars, he goes to a fancy party because British villains apparently love champagne. Shaw storms into the VIP lounge and takes out a squad of bodyguards using anything he can grab. He ropes the boss and dangles him out of a window for answers. But guess what? This guy's just as clueless as Hobbs' gangster. Truly, criminals these days are useless middle managers. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this. The next day, Hobbs enjoys a peaceful lunch with his daughter, Sam. She's working on her family tree for school, but Dad refuses to talk about relatives. Their bonding moment is interrupted when a CIA agent shows up with a photo of Hattie. He explains that Snowflake liquefies organs. Hattie injected herself with it. And worst of all, the CIA thinks she killed her own team. Oh, and the scientist who created it? Missing. The agent wants Hobbs to find her, but there's a catch. This time, Hobbs won't be working alone. Meanwhile, Shaw visits his mom in prison. She used to be a crime queen and somehow still breaks out of her handcuffs while chatting. Classic mom energy. She asks about his sister, Hattie, but Shaw admits they haven't spoken in years. Before he leaves, a CIA agent corners him too, offering the same deal as Hobbs. Help catch Hattie, get her immunity. Shaw reluctantly agrees, though he's not thrilled about having to team up. Hattie, on the other hand, realizes she's been framed. Her bosses think she killed her squad, so if she shows her face, she's toast. She gears up her apartment with hidden traps and weapons like she's preparing for a Home Alone sequel starring John Wick. Back at the CIA office, Shaw and Hobbs discover they're partners. Awkward, because these two hate each other like cats and dogs, or more accurately, like bald action stars competing for the biggest biceps. They argue, throw chairs, and generally make the CIA regret every decision. Eventually, they agree to hunt Hattie separately, just to see who can catch her first. Shaw checks her apartment first, carefully sidestepping traps until he finds a hidden computer. But just as he's making progress, Edeon's goons show up. Shaw whips out a hidden gun and wrecks them using every piece of furniture in sight. It's like a furniture commercial sponsored by violence. He even tosses a guy out the window for good measure. Meanwhile, Hattie slips into a hotel, swipes a bag from a luggage cart, and disguises herself with the clothes inside. Smart move, except Hobbs spots her. She tries fighting back with helmets, but Hobbs eventually just lifts her off the ground like she's a handbag and cuffs her. Across town, Brixton updates his cybernetic upgrades. Painful, but he takes it like a champ. Edeon's grand plan: use Snowflake to wipe out humanity and replace everyone with super-enhanced humans. Back at the CIA base, Hobbs interrogates Hattie. He knows from her fighting style she didn't kill her team, but until they prove it, she's not going anywhere. While Hobbs takes a call from his daughter, Hattie MacGyvers her way out of handcuffs with a necklace piece and beats up the agent babysitting her. Hobbs returns just in time to find her pointing a gun at him. Cue Shaw arriving, announcing Hattie is his sister. The men start another round of bickering until Hattie interrupts by revealing the snowflake capsule is embedded in her hand. Before anyone can argue further, Brixton blasts through the window with his men, guns blazing. The agents scatter for cover. Brixton snatches Hattie and rappels down the building with futuristic harnesses that let them run sideways like Spider-Man. Hobbs and Shaw fight their way through Edeon grunts. Hobbs rappelling with brute force, Shaw taking the elevator like a civilized man. Both methods work, somehow. Hattie cuts herself free mid-escape, but Brixton catches up, forcing Hobbs and Shaw into a showdown. Turns out Brixton and Shaw used to be teammates, until Shaw killed him. Now he's back, stronger, faster, and angrier, basically an X with robot upgrades. He wipes the floor with both men until Hobbs tosses a grenade to escape. Shaw pulls up in a car to rescue Hattie and Hobbs, and a chase begins. The car chase is pure chaos. Brixton's bike can transform to dodge obstacles like a transformer on Red Bull. Hobbs throws bikers into walls, and Shaw pulls a stunt by sliding his car under a truck. Eventually, they trick Brixton into crashing into a bus, buying them just enough time to get away. But the victory is short-lived, because Edeon hacks every news network to frame Hobbs, Shaw, and Hattie as terrorists. Now the world hates them, and the trio must find Dr. Enrio, the scientist behind Snowflake. They track him down, and he explains the virus will dissolve in 42 hours, going airborne unless extracted with a machine inside Edeon's Ukrainian facility. Basically, things just got worse. At Shaw's hideout, they gear up with disguises and fake passports. Shaw tricks Hobbs with a fake identity at the airport, getting him detained. But Hobbs still manages to sneak onto the plane mid-takeoff, because apparently airport security is optional in this universe. On board, Shaw and Hobbs argue so loudly they wake up Air Marshal Dinkley, a wannabe hero who offers to join their mission. They say no, but he still slips them his card. Meanwhile, Brixton captures Dr. Enrio and tries to force him to cooperate with flamethrower intimidation. Enrio resists. In Moscow, the trio visits Shaw's old flame Margarita, a crime boss who still kisses him hello. She provides intel on the Ukrainian facility and suggests Hattie get caught on purpose. Classic terrible plan, but they roll with it. The infiltration is wild. Shaw and Hobbs parachute into the silo, fighting through guards with style. Hobbs crushes one guy. Shaw defeats 10 at once with random objects. But Brixton eventually captures them both, chains them to electric chairs, and offers them a spot in Edeon. They refuse, so he cranks up the volts. Hattie and Enrio sneak around, beat up scientists, and just when Hobbs pretends to join Edeon to stall, Hattie ambushes Brixton. Enrio unleashes a flamethrower, setting guards on fire, and chaos erupts. Brixton kills Enrio, but the heroes escape with the extraction device. What follows is an insane chase. Cars, drones, collapsing factories, Hobbs smashing vehicles with a truck, Shaw shooting drones mid-air. Eventually, they barely escape, but the extraction machine gets damaged. With time running out, Hobbs suggests hiding in Samoa with his family. They fly there thanks to Dinkley smuggling them in. Hobbs reunites with his brother Jonah. Their mom scolds them with a flying slipper, forcing them to reconcile. Jonah repairs the machine, while everyone else sets up traps with traditional weapons, because mom threw away all the guns. Hattie also hacks Edeon's system to disable their weapons for 6 minutes. The final showdown is a festival of chaos. Hobbs and his brothers chant a Samoan ritual before charging into battle, swinging clubs and spears against Edeon agents. With guns offline, the villains get wrecked. Shaw and Hattie team up against enemies too, proving sibling bonding works best when you're punching bad guys. Then comes Brixton, who finds Hattie and drags her toward a helicopter. The heroes chase in trucks, chaining the chopper to their vehicles in a tug-of-war that would make physics professors cry. Jonah and the brothers link trucks together, boosters fire, explosions erupt, and somehow the trucks pull the helicopter back. Eventually, the chain breaks, the chopper crashes, and Hobbs and Shaw face Brixton one last time. This time, they fight smart, taking turns distracting him so the other can land hits. Together, they finally overpower him, smashing him into rocks until he collapses. Edeon's mysterious boss remotely deactivates Brixton, making his body fall into the ocean. Spooky cliffhanger. Back in Samoa, the heroes celebrate. Hobbs introduces Sam to her extended family. Hattie and Shaw visit their mom. And for now, peace is restored. Until the next explosion-filled sequel, of course. And that's Hobbs and Shaw. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for more wild movie breakdowns, and drop a comment telling us if you think you could survive a Brixton-level punch. Spoiler, you can't. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.